9/11, I have it.
It pisses other people off.
Maybe I can find a father figure for your father. You're taking that away from me, so I resent you for it, even though you weren't worth it to begin with. Yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
Okay. I want to get closer into the... Oh, really? I'll go across the street? Oh, wow. You caught him? I'm just going to go...
Like our indigenous siblings here, are being ethnically cleansed from our homes. And to be clear, ethnic cleansing isn't just what's happening in Jerusalem and Sheikh Jarrah. It's every instance of violence wrought upon Palestinians by the Zionist project. It is the members of my family who died from malnutrition in refugee camps, or whose lives were cut short due to the physical impacts of the stress of occupation. All of that is ethnic cleansing. And of course, it's the martyrs who were killed in lynch mobs in 48 Palestine, our martyrs in the West Bank who were killed today resisting the military and protest. And it's the over 200 people, including over 50 children, murdered by the Zionist project during bomb raids in Gaza. So I'm going to pass it over to our speaker today, who will be leading us in an acknowledgement of our martyrs, because that is so important and one of the critical reasons we're here today. But the last thing I'll say is this. When Zionism wants Palestinian death and the erasure of our legacy, every single breath we take and every memory we cherish is resistance. Our existence is resistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's make some noise for Leah. Woo! So, like I said, Boston is showing up for Palestine. And so I want to read a message from friends in Gaza to you all so that we can hopefully keep up this momentum going beyond just today. It reads, I beg you, please don't get bored or give up on us. You uplift our voices. I know it's tiring and emotionally exhausting, but please do not leave us alone. Never, never, we'll never forget Gaza or all of Palestine. We'll never forget Palestine. Allah yansurhum. I want to begin by reiterating and acknowledging why we're gathering today and reading a statement from this call to action. From across Palestine, we call on you to join our general strike and day of action on today, Tuesday, May 18th. Launched from Jerusalem and extending to every village, city, and refugee camp across Palestine and at our borders with Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan, we call upon your support in maintaining this moment of unprecedented popular resistance. The Israeli settler colonial regime and military occupation has suffocated us and attempted to extinguish all possibility for the past 73 years. Now, we demand our freedom. For the sake of the lives taken from us, for the countless injured, for those whose homes were destroyed, and for the thousands of our people arbitrarily imprisoned by the occupation. As Jewish Israeli settler mobs and the Israeli state continue a campaign of violence against our people in Sheikh Jarrah and Gaza, we will continue our popular intifada until the liberation of our land and our people. organize and protest for as long as the occupation exists. Liberation is within our reach. So these were the words. These were the exact words that called out on the international community and the Palestinian diaspora community and all people who stand in solidarity with the Palestinian cause, because the Palestinian cause is a just cause for any revolutionary who seeks justice, not just Palestinians. So now for a more somber note. We today are also coming together and striking, but we are also holding a place where we can memorialize and where we can honor the lives of our martyrs in Gaza. So today I'm going to read out the names of the people in Gaza who were martyred. Please bear with me. The number is 213. So this is going to take a little while. Yusuf Mansi, Ahmed Al-Mansi, Ahmed Sabah, Yasmin Hassan, Maha Al-Hadidi, Muhammad Ibrahim Muhammad Amin, Manar Isa, Faiza Salame, Mustafa Al-Abid, Lamia Al-Ta'id, Wala Amin, Warde Amin, Hadin Amin, Suhad Al-Rantisi, Shema Al-Rantisi, Raed Al-Rantisi, Khulud Al-Zamli, Muayyad Al-Khatib, Abd Al-Rahman, Sabrin Al-Daya, Hashim Al-Zughbi, Naima Aisha, Nisreen Abu Qalaq, Suhaib Ghanem, Ismail Al-Tabbusi, Malik Hamdan, Isam Wa'id, Nidal Al-Saqadi, Isa Ibrahim, Muhammad Abdul Shakir, Sharif Suleiman, Awad Harb, Muhammad Hamid, Musa Madi, Saqir Al-Hayya, Hussam Al-Hayya, Yusuf Nawasre, Muhammad Al-Najjar, Layali Sharir, Nidal Hunna, Thair Al-Shu, Jum'a Al-Tahli, Rahab Al-Harrub, Ahmed Al-Masri, Muhammad Abdullah Fayed, Muhammad Nasir, Ibrahim Al-Shin. Okay, sure. Someone would like us to remind everyone in the crowd that these are the names of the martyrs. So if you weren't paying attention earlier, these are the names of the 213 martyrs. Sabir Sulaiman, Bashir Alloush, Osama Al-Zayed, Nabil Dardone, Raed Warde, Sulaiman Al-Farra, Musa Al-Zayed, Kamal Qari, Muhammad Abu Atta, Samih Al-Mamluk, Amira Sabah, Musa Hassoune, Iyad Sharir, Abdurrahman Yusuf Al-Sabah, Manar Barakeh, Muhammad Halas, Rima Saeed, Hassan, Wael Al-Karim Ali Isa, Mahmoud Kallousse, Saeed Al-Hatto, Abdullah Arafe, Hadil Arafe, Muhammad Abu Amir, Mansour Yusuf Hassan Al-Darimli, Mustafa Karriye, Nader Al-Ghazli, Abd Al-Ghazli, Majid Abu Saade, Awad Nabil Abu Sulaiman, Basim Al-Isa, Jamal Saeed Al-Zubda, Hamza Al-Hawar, Muhammad Ma'in Al-Qari, Muhammad Shaheen, Maysoon Al-Hatto, Ahmed Al-Tala, Muhammad Amse, Walid Al-Shamali, Hamid Al-Dabari, Nail Al-Barrawi, Atif Al-Barrawi, Jamil Warash, Sami Radwan, Ahmed Abu Sakran, Muhammad Abu Sakran, هجر المدهون، عبد المدهون، أسامة.
Originally, but you know, a little bit more. You've been there? One time. One time.
وليد الشمالي، حامد الزبالي، نهل البراوي، عاصف البراوي، جميل ورشة، سامي بعيد، أحمد سفران،
It just graduated.
بسامة الجدة، خالد البنوع، أكرم العطار، حليمة المدهون، عز الدين هلف، محمد عطا، عبد الحامد، مجاهد الحديدي، حازم الخطيب، مصطفى فرحان، محمود فارس. And these are the names of the children who were martyred. دينا شرير، جور زماني، أحمد الحوجيري، محمود طلبة، إبراهيم الرنفيسي، دينا محمد عيسى، جمال أبو هطاب، بلال أبو هطاب، يوسف أبو هطاب، عبد الرحمن الحديدي، سحيب الحديدي، محمد سليمان، مصطفى عبيد، براء الغريبي، رهف المصري، نزل سلطان المصري، حسين منير، حمد، محمد المصري، إبراهيم المصري، مروان المصري، إبراهيم حسنين، دينا شرير، زيد محمد عودة، حلا حسين ريفي، مريم تلباني، بشار سمور، حمزة علي، حمادة العمور، عامر العمور، هنيان العمور، يحيى مازن شهادة خليفة، محمد السناني، كتاب السناني، أمير السناني، إسماعيل السناني، محمد العطر، إسلام العطر، أمير العطر، إبراهيم النسيسي، نور الزميلي، زكريا علوش، رشيد أبو عرة، سعيد سيف، محمد عودة، سيف فاضل قصصية، رشيد محمد عرة. Thank you. Hello? Can you hear me? Great, thank you. Sorry guys, sound problems. We had a last minute change to our sound system thanks to some complaints. But we're back. So let's take a moment for all of those lives. The children, the men, the women, the families, the siblings. These are people. Let's take that moment, please. Thank you. Now, just to call out anyone who's willing to come and read Al-Fatiha on the lives of the martyrs, please come to the stage.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So now to continue with this memorializing of the lives of those lost, those lives murdered, not lost, murdered. We'll continue, and I'm inviting Amanda from BDS Boston to lead us in this action.
Hey everyone. I wanted to come up here to acknowledge that we are not only here to mourn. We are here to honor those murdered and to show up for those on the front lines of this reinvigorated revolution who called on us to echo their work today. So let's honor all of them by making a commitment to deepen our work, to get strategic so that Palestine is liberated. Because as our friends back home are saying, liberation is within reach. But we're not going to win just by going to rallies. Because American institutions can ignore us. The library can ignore us. BPD can ignore us. Corporations supporting the occupation and colonization of Palestine can ignore us. And we need to make sure we cannot be ignored. So right now, I want to invite us to do an activity. There's way more people here than we expected, which is incredible. So maybe So we might not have materials for everybody, but you can still do this activity. I want to invite everyone to take a few minutes to reflect on our commitment to Palestinian liberation and renew and amp up those efforts. So I'm going to ask everyone 3 questions. And if you have a piece of paper, go ahead and write those thoughts down. When you're done, we can tape them up here on the board behind me that Leah's holding, so that we can show our friends and family back home this representation of the work we promised to carry forward after today. Does that make sense? Okay, thanks. So here are the 3 questions. 1, what can you do to support Palestinian liberation? Or what more can you do to support Palestinian liberation? Number 2, what can you do to confront Zionism in your daily life? Number 3, what BDS efforts can you be a part of? So these are just some prompting questions, and again, the goal is for us to take responsibility, to take the time, to think through how we're being strategic, right? We're not just here to show up, chant for a day, and let it go, right? We're going to follow through until Palestine is free. So, yes. So let's take a few minutes, right? Like, write independently by yourself. If you verbally process, pull a friend over, chat for a little bit. And when you're done, just pass those pieces of paper forward so that we can take a picture for our friends back home and pass it back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, you can just pass them. Thank you. You can just pass them up, and we can collect them here. Yeah, go ahead. So you can take those few minutes to do that. and then pass them up here. And then we're gonna get started with some chants to get riled up. And then also we're gonna move into our speaker set for today. And I also just want to make some quick announcements. As you've seen, the police have put barricades up. We don't know if we anticipate, like last time, some people coming to disrupt the crowd, but like I said before, and I'll say it again, we do not give Zionists attention. They don't deserve it. They are literally worth the bottom of my shoe. So, exactly. So we don't pay them any attention. They're not worth it. They're not worth it. So if anyone tries to escalate or annoy you or say something, you ignore, and we have marshals around the edges that are there to help you if you need. They're wearing neon vests. There's also to the left over here water. We don't want anyone, fainting or anything. There's water that's been donated from the Boston Food for Activists Coalition from last time, as well as water on this side and snacks, so please don't hesitate to make your way over there if you need that. I think we're gonna push forward now. Let's do some chants and then we're gonna move into it, yeah? Sure. If you're writing on your paper, still no problem. Please take your time. We want this to be a moment of reflection for the community, especially for people here in America who are not Palestinian and aren't familiar with what actions and steps that they can take. So please, if you're writing on these papers, write what your commitment is to standing up for the liberation of Palestine and supporting us by any means necessary. 2, how are you committing to opposing and disrupting and exposing Zionism for what it is, right? Terrorism, racism, etc., etc. And 3, maybe some reflections on BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. So actions, tangible actions that you can take to make change here from America. Because, as you know, our voices are reaching the world. The world is seeing. The world! Do you know what that means? That the general public is shifting, the narrative is shifting, and Zionism is being exposed? That means that liberation is within our grasp. We are so close, and it is just as much our job here in the diaspora to fight for that and support and uplift the voices of Gaza, of 48, of the West Bank, of Ramallah, of Lid, of all these cities all over Palestine. We need to uplift them, and it is our duty to fight for the liberation of Palestine. فلسطين عربية فلسطين عربية ومن المية للمية فلسطين عربية فلسطين عربية ومن المية للمية فلسطين عربية فلسطين عربية Free Palestine Free Palestine super, super excited to be hearing from community members who have lived in Palestine, who have not, who are joining us today and uplifting the voices of our people. So our first speaker will be Rawan. And Rawan, if you could make your way over to the stage. Hi, Rawan. Rawan is going to be reciting a poem for us. It's a very famous poem. I'm sure many of you know it, and I think that it galvanizes a lot of how everyone's feeling right now. So please hand it over to Rawan.
Thank you, guys. First of all, excuse me, my voice is a little rough today, but I'm trying. Okay, so this is Shades of Anger by Rafif Ziadeh, and she wrote it after she was kicked in the guts by an IDF soldier who told her that she should be raped before she gives birth to her next terrorist. اسمحوا لي أتكلم بلسان العربي قبل أن يحتلوا لغتي أيضا. Allow me to speak my Arab tongue before they occupy my language as well. Allow me to speak my mother tongue before they colonize her memory as well. I am an Arab woman of color, and we come in all shades of anger. All my grandfather ever wanted to do was wake up at dawn and watch my grandmother kneel and pray in a village hidden between Jaffa and Haifa. My mother was born under an olive tree on a soil they say is no longer mine. But I will cross their barriers, their checkpoints, their damn apartheid walls, and return to my homeland. I am an Arab woman of color, and we come in all shades of anger. And did you hear my sister screaming yesterday as she gave birth at a checkpoint with an Israeli soldier looking between her legs for their next demographic threat called her baby girl Janine? And did you hear Amni Munna screaming behind their prison bars as they tear gas her cell, "We're returning to Palestine"? I am an Arab woman of color, and we come in all shades of anger. But you tell me this womb inside me will only bring you your next terrorist, beard-wearing, gun-waving, towel head. You tell me I send my children out to die, but those are your copters, your F-16s in our sky. And let's talk about this terrorism business for a second. Wasn't it the CIA that killed Allende and Lumumba? And who trained Osama in the first place? My grandparents didn't run around like clowns with the white capes and the white hoods on their heads lynching black people. I am an Arab woman of color, and we come in all shades of anger. So who is that brown woman screaming in that demonstration? Sorry, should I not scream? I forgot to be your every Orientalist dream. Genie in a bottle, belly dancer, harem girl, soft-spoken Arab woman. Yes, master. No, master. Thank you for the peanut butter sandwiches raining down on us from your F-16s, master. Yes, my liberators are here to kill my children and call them collateral damage. I am an Arab woman of color, and we come in all shades of anger. So let me just tell you this. Womb inside me will only bring you your next rebel. She will have a rock in one hand and a Palestinian flag in the other. I am an Arab woman of color. Beware, beware my anger. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Keep sharing, keep posting. The fact that they're trying to silence us and censor us, that means we're winning. So keep sharing. Thank you. Free Palestine!
Okay, that was beautiful. One of my favorite poems ever written. Thank you so much, Rawan. Now we have a speaker joining us from BDS Boston. You can make your way. Also, if you have written on one of these colored pieces of paper, let's bring it up because we're trying to fill up the flag with all the colors. So even if you didn't get a paper, or if you did get a paper and you didn't write something, write one thing and bring it up so we can fill up the flag. So we're gonna skip that for now. Our next speaker is Dr. Devin Atallah. If Dr. Devin Atallah is here. No? He is. Please make your way to the stage, Dr. Devin Atallah, while I introduce you. So Dr. Devin Atallah's work focuses on decolonial clinical community psychology practices, trauma, resilience, healing, justice, and resistance to settler colonialism. Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Devin Atallah.
Shukran. Hello, can you hear me okay? Thank you. And shout out to the students at UMass Boston. Students for Justice in Palestine. Amazing job. So I want to start with a question today that my friend and colleague Rita Jackman asks in a letter this morning. She asks, why is the world not acknowledging the root cause of the problem? The creation of the State of Israel at the expense of the Palestinians, who had nothing to do with the European anti-Semitism. Right? If we're doing anti-racist work, we know we have to get to root causes. Right? You can't stop a pandemic without addressing the root causes. And I'm sorry, but colonialism is the pandemic of all pandemics. Right? And so we need to get to the root causes. We have to do that. And as Yasser Abu Jameh, Dr. Yasser in Gaza, in a letter that he wrote to me and colleagues just a few days ago, I want to quote him directly, to speak directly from Gaza. He asked, how long will the world just sit idly by while we here in Gaza suffer like this? The people of Gaza need more than just statements and resolutions, while Israel receives the arms which are killing and destroying us. Concrete political action is needed now to end not only the current deadly bombing raids, but also the illegal occupation and siege of Gaza immediately. Our current living conditions under the siege are an affront to human dignity. I tell my children and my clients, we Palestinians have the right to live as any other people in the world. To live in peace, in dignity, and enjoy our rights. It will come. Dr. Yasser says it will come. Yes, Dr. Yasser, we hear you and we are with you. If you can believe it, we can too, and we will fight for it. All Palestinian people, we are with each other, united, whether in the 48, in Beit Lahem or Al Khalil,